So one of the lines you'll hear from your friends who sell insurance is to start on a savings plan which can be used for your future. Or when you're a newlywed like me, looking for a savings plan for your future family, kids, college, or even universities. But for me, I'm not too keen on the saving plan, and here's why. Hello beautiful people, my name is Jordan and welcome to the channel. Always glad to see your smiling faces and I hope all of you are doing fine. So insurance is probably one of the tools or investment instruments that one might get in touch with or be introduced to because we all have friends who do insurance at some point of time. But before we move further into this video, I'm just going to put it out there that I'm not saying that insurance is all bad, but just for me, I prefer to manage my money in certain ways that insurance is unable to provide or do so. Having said that, I do have insurance plans that gives me coverage as well. Let's look at savings plans and what it entails. So in simple terms, an insurance saving plan or an endowment plan is to help one save regularly. People can leverage on high interest rates as compared to banks or fixed deposits, and in return of the high yields or interest rates, funds will have a minimum lockdown period. So when one purchases an endowment plan, it will come with a monthly premium of $100, $200, $300 or whatever amount it is, and has to be paid over a period of time, which is usually 10, 15, 20 or 25 years. And some do opt for single premiums as well. So let's try to understand the main purpose of a savings plan. So number one, it is to save up for big ticket items which might happen in the next few years, like a house or university fees. Number two is for legacy planning for future generation, or number three is for people who already have risky investments and want to diversify to safer vehicles or instruments. So most savings plans work with a participation fund, and this happens when you have to pay your insurer monthly, quarterly, yearly or in single premiums, and the participation fund is a pool of money paid by all these premiums collected together for different policies, and the fund is then invested into different asset classes like bonds, equity, property, etc. And the returns are redistributed to policy owners, so it's pretty similar to buying a fund. So there are also a few terminologies that one should be aware of. So let's start with all the terminologies in a savings plan. So the first one that you have is either SP or RP, which means single premium or regular premium. Single premium means you are paying a one-time fund for the policy or the plan. And regular premium or RP is where you pay monthly, quarterly or yearly. Usually if you were to pay yearly, you do get a little bit of discount or you pay lesser over a long period of time. Next, we have the payment terms, which means how long you have to continue paying. So for example, it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years of paying those premiums. And then we have policy term. This is when the policy will end or mature. So most savings plans have a maturity anywhere between 3 to 25 years. However, if you have opted for an open-ended plan, this means that the policy will end at the age of 100 and onwards or upon death. So how many types of saving plans are there? So there are three main types of saving plans, and you might want to speak to your financial advisor to find out more, because I'm just a random person on the internet and I am not a financial advisor. But the first plan that we have is called an annuity plan. And what an annuity does is to help you get regular payments for life after a lump sum of investment. So basically the insurer will invest the money that you have provided and pay out a share of the profit to you on a regular basis. So payment term can range anytime from 10 to 25 years and onwards, depending on how you customize your policy, as this plan or these kind of policies are usually for retirement planning, and you get to customize a lot of things like your payout period, for how long are you going to pay those premiums, and how long you want to receive those payments after the policy matures. So some of the pros of annuity are the stable returns and are most likely capital guaranteed. But the cons comes with low to no liquidity during the payment period, and returns might be lackluster compared to buying an ETF or a stock that's available on the market. Next, we have open-ended plans. So these plans are probably the most common plans that you see out there, and the main difference is the maturity period of this particular plan. So most people that purchase this policy are planning for a legacy or to leave some wealth for their next generation. So the payment period of these ranges from 5 to 20 years or even 25 years. And maturity is an onwards of 100 years. And you'll probably have to hold for a minimum of 20 years. And what this means is that if you were to withdraw or surrender your policy at year 15, chances are you'll be losing money. But if you were to hold on until it matures, you will qualify for the highest possible payout. But this varies from policy to policy, so please speak to your certified financial advisor. However, the cons of this plan is that you require a pretty high capital to enter such a plan and ensure that you got enough cash flow to sustain your lifestyle while servicing this policy as well. And the third plan that we have, like the name says, close-ended plan. This endowment or savings plan has a timeline tagged to it, and it's usually bought by people who are looking at the next 5 to 10 years horizon. So do not take this as financial advice, but one group of people that could be purchasing these kind of policies are students who are looking to enter university. And for most guys in Singapore, after we finish junior college, poly or IT at the age of 19 or 20, that's where we'll learn about savings plans from our peers. And for those that purchase, it's really to save money for the next 10 years or so. So by the age of 30, you'll get a lump sum of money which you can put towards your house, pay off your student debt, or use it for other big ticket purchases. So these plans have shorter holding periods and you can receive capital plus whatever interest it has generated over that period of time. So this is why savings plan won't work for me. And here's what I feel about it. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of insurance, but I believe that there are certain things that one can look into when getting an insurance. So probably things like your health insurance, your critical illness, your personal accident, or your hospitalization plans. But when it comes to saving, I'm not very into it because I feel that there are better opportunities out there that are available to retail investors like us, like buying an index fund or buying an ETF. So if you haven't started investing or you're looking for a platform to start, you can claim one free Apple share when you use my link in the description down below and fund your account $2,000 with Tiger Brokers. And you can get another free Apple share when you sign up and fund $2,700 into your Moomoo account. Links are all in the description down below. And when you purchase a savings plan, essentially you're locking your money for a long period of time. And during that time, you might not be able to have access to your funds. And not having access to your funds means that there's opportunity cost, which means that you might lose out on the opportunity of purchasing some stocks because you recently started investing, learning a little bit more about it, and you feel like, hey, you know what, that's an opportunity, but because your funds are locked up, you're unable to purchase. Or maybe when you have an emergency that came out, you're getting a new house and you need access to a large sum of money, this will be a huge issue as well because there's no liquidity in these policies. And I feel that if the insurer is able to provide a 4.25 projected return, there are many other instruments out there that are able to achieve better growth or dividends. However, this is not saying that you shouldn't be buying savings plan just because it doesn't work out for me, doesn't mean it won't work for you. So for example, like I love to shoot Canon cameras, but it doesn't mean Sony cameras are bad. And savings plans do have their space and value as well for each different individual. So for example, if you're an individual who works night shifts or is constantly in the kitchen, like Brian, then savings plan might be something you can consider. Because counting the fact that you work in F&B, you barely have time for yourself because you'll probably start early and end work late at night. Or if you're an individual who is unable to save money, who's a spendthrift, a savings plan might be something that can work for you because it forces you to save every single month. And if you're unable to pay the premiums, it will incur loans, or your policy may lapse and your agent will start calling you. But then there are differences between stocks and savings plans for sure. And one of the key, most important detail is the death benefit. By and large, with any insurance policy, there is some sort of death benefit or payout when an event of death happens to you or the policy owner. So most savings plan will pay 105% of the total premiums paid in an event of death, but this varies among the different policies and the different insurers. But then when it comes to stock, they don't give a if you're dead or you're alive. The market continues moving forward and it continues moving on. So I hope this video has provided you some insight on what saving plans are, who is it for and who it isn't for. Do smash the like button, it helps the channel quite a bit. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you in the next video.